I have a dilemma. Tristan and I make an effort to be earth-friendly and lower our carbon footprint. So we do things such as recycle, despite the fact that recycling is not exactly easily accessible where we live. Side note, it makes me incredibly angry to see people throwing away aluminum cans in a trash can when there's a recycling bin across the sidewalk. Side note, it also makes me angry that in the music building where I spend most of my time, there is a grand total of 1 recycling bin. It's a huge building. 1. Unfortunately, people are lazy, which means that if there isn't a recycling bin right next to every trash can, they're not going to recycle. To be honest, there are times when instead of walking up the stairs to get to the recycling bin, I just put whatever aluminum can I might be using into my bag and take it home to recycle. So I'm lazy too. But my point is that people are generally lazy, so yeah. But Tristan and I also carpool when we can. Both of our cars are small and relatively fuel efficient for cars that aren't hybrids, because we can't really afford to buy hybrids. And we try to keep our energy usage low at home, like unplugging your computer when you're not using it, or not having every light on in the house unless you're making a video. But, I don't have an e-reader, and I don't really plan on buying one. Ever. My one weakness when it comes to being earth-friendly conscious stuff is that I really love books. And I'm not talking just about the text, which of course I love that too, but I'm also talking about the physical, actual book. I love the smell of books, the feel of books. I love holding a book in my hand and turning the pages. Maybe that's weird, but I can't help myself. This all comes from yesterday I saw a commercial for an e-reader, and the main focus of the commercial was that you can read it in sunlight. Oh yeah? Know what else you can read in sunlight? This. Also, you should know that I am beginning my summer tradition of reading all 7 Harry Potter books. This summer, I'm going to take my freaking time, because I usually plow through them, and it's the last summer. What I mean by that is that Deathly Hallows Part 2 comes out in July, so I'm going to try and take my time and read all 7 books and get to the end of 7 around the time when the movie comes out. So that probably will involve reading some other books in between. If you have any suggestions, leave those in the comments, because I'm not really sure what to read. I have a couple of books stacked up, but besides that, I could use some help. Speaking of Deathly Hallows Part 2, that is also around the same time as LeakyCon, which I'm going to try to go to, at least for one day, because I live in Florida and it would be absolutely ridiculous if I didn't try. That will all probably depend on what the scheduling is, so I wait with bated breath, LeakyCon, for the schedule to come out so I can pick which day I'm going to come down there. Back to the e-readers. I felt guilty about this for a pretty long time until I took an Introduction to Historical Musicology class last fall. We spent about 2 class periods talking about the importance of paper. For example, watermarks, their shape, and their placement on a piece of paper, or the materials used to make a piece of paper. It's all important, and especially with music research, but really any kind of research that involves looking back into history, looking at paper can be a part of that. So I don't feel bad about buying paper books, because to me, it's like a little piece of history. And I also don't feel bad about writing in my books. Call me crazy. I don't write in library books. I just write in my books. So that's how I feel about paper books. Although I have been making an effort lately to pick out books that I don't want anymore and donate them. The one problem I have there is that if I buy a book and I like it, I'm probably going to keep it because I read books really fast, and so I often miss things. So if I really, really like a book, then I will probably read it more than once, or 80 times in the case of Harry Potter. That's an exaggeration. I don't think that I've read Harry Potter 80 times, but I certainly have read the books enough times for my dad to get annoyed every time I pick up one of them. Meow.